Hey guys, in this video I'm gonna show you what I had to do on the project with the Renault that I showed you in the last episode. In the previous video I worked on the braking system and the job evolved because you can see behind the car the radiator needed to be replaced. Also the drive belt and the pulleys for the generator, the climate control, the hydraulics. And also we are gonna replace and service the oil filter, the air filter, the cabin filter and the oil as well, since this is the perfect opportunity for that. The cooling system as well, so we're gonna have cooling system replaced, antifreeze, and the brake system serviced with the new brake fluid. The new radiator is gonna be mounted. The drive belt actually is gonna be the same because we have it over here and it is in very good condition. Don't mind the outside of the belt, it is kind of rough looking, but this is because of one of the pulleys that I removed. Otherwise this belt is not stretched and the inside of the belt is not cracked and it looks very nice. It is not stiff. Actually it is very soft and plastic. So now we are not gonna work on the AC compressor because in future I'm hoping that it's gonna last at least 5 or 6 months, but we'll see. The bearing for the pulley on the AC compressor is gonna need servicing, but this is not the right time and there is still lots of life in the bearing. But I think that when the drive belt is gonna be ready to be replaced, because it still has some life in it, it is gonna be the time when the AC bearing is gonna need to be replaced as well, and we're gonna do that at the same time. So now it is way too cold and we need to finish this project, and I'm not gonna get involved with that job, but as I mentioned, we have more than enough things to do, and probably I will try to capture how I install the radiator on this car, but it is possible for me not to be able to do that. It is kind of we are rushing through these things, and I spent quite a bit of time searching for the parts, and most of the day has gone by. But still I wanted to show you how to remove the radiator, because it is already disassembled, and now I confidently can explain how I did that. First of all, to gain access to the radiator, before you start anything else, you need to remove, this is the panel that goes over here, sorry, like this. It has 2 bolts on each side and 2 bolts in the front, 6 bolts in total, have to be unscrewed. You can leave this simply like that, and when this is out of the way, you'll be able to gain access to the radiator. And before removing the radiator, the first step is going to be on each side there are these little bushings, rubber mounts, metal/rubber mounts that sit over there like this, and they are screwed on top of the headlights. Over here you can see this hole. You need to unscrew them on each of the sides, on the both sides of the radiator. This is gonna release the radiator, and then what I did is, you can see these little screws over here. These are 7mm heads, and they screw together this is the radiator for the climate control. On both sides there are 4 bolts in total, but in my case there are only 2 bolts at the top. I unscrewed them. This released this radiator from the other radiator, and in the back, the last step was, in the back there was the fan, and the fan has 4 bolts as well, 2 in each side, that need to be unscrewed. They are the same ones 7mm heads. Once this is released, you gently have to remove it. You can see there is this kind of resting place for the condenser for the AC unit, and it is kind of awkward to get this out of place, but with a little bit of play you can take this out. And once this is out, you can safely remove the radiator itself. On the bottom side, the radiator has this rubber. Basically, you can see how it fits over here. I just pulled it out like this. It goes out without any problems. It needs a little bit of play, but it is out because you can see the damage. This was leaking and it is no good. So this is the type of the radiator. We actually have bought a replacement. I want to show you how the new one is gonna look like. This is the new piece. Now I'm gonna be installing this, but I'm gonna start with the tensioner. This is the tensioner. You can see that I have removed one of the pulleys. They're completely the same, exactly alike, so they're replaceable. You can replace the whole thing or you can replace only this pulley. Before you disassemble this, it is held in place in these two points over here with two bolts, 13mm heads, and I think the bolt was 8mm. So you have to gain access to the bottom one, and to do that it is probably gonna be good to lock the tensioner the way that I did. Before I didn't lock it in place and struggled to do this later. So when you disassemble the drive belt, make sure that you use something to fix it in this position to gain access to the bolt that is underneath. I'm gonna try to show you. This is fitted on the car. Over here you can see one of the, yeah, these are the two. The one sticking out is for the pulley, and the two holes that are next to this metal piece are the holes for the tensioner. It sits like this over there on this side of this metal bracket or whatever it is. Now I'm gonna start by fitting the new pulley over here. I'm gonna mount the tensioner. Afterwards I'm gonna install the new pulley. It is mounted over there. And afterwards I'm gonna install the drive belt. So basically this is it. I'm hoping that this was helpful or interesting for you. I'm gonna try to show you as much as the process as I can, but I don't promise anything. I hope that you enjoy this type of content, and if you do, you can consider sharing, commenting, liking and subscribing for my channel for more videos like this one. Stay till the end of the video. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to share some of the interesting moments. Let's start assembling. I have most of the parts. I forgot to mention that I have most of the parts. They are somewhere in here. There should be the pulleys and the oil. We have the oil, we have the antifreeze for the cooling system, the filters, and yeah, this is the air filter, the oil filter for the Renault, and the pulleys are somewhere underneath. The tensioner with the new pulley is done. All we had to do was to screw this nut over here, and now we are gonna install this into place. So the tensioner is installed, and it is time for the second pulley to go into place, and we are gonna be able to mount the belt afterwards. Finally, the drive belt is in. I struggled because I took a shortcut, and instead of taking the belt over the generator and then to the pulley. I went to the pulley and then to the generator, and I had quite a bit of piece loose, and that messed up everything, so I redid everything the right way, and now everything fits and the belt is installed. So the next step is gonna be to remove the oil filter, which on this car is over here, and now I have perfect access to it. So I'm gonna remove it and install the new one and drain the oil all at once. I want to show you where is the fuel plug for the gearbox. It looks like this, and also this is the level should be to here, and you can see I have unplugged it, unscrewed the plug, and there is not enough oil, so I'm gonna use a gear oil and I will top up the gearbox as well. Now is the perfect moment because I have clearance to do that. Well guys, this is all for this job. As you can see, the car is running, the oil level is checked, the antifreeze is new, the radiator is mounted, the drive belt is mounted as well, and everything seems to be fine. We have repaired brake system, all the filters are replaced, all the liquids are replaced, some of the pulleys and the radiator. I don't actually remember. I think we did something else on the car, but I'm not completely sure. It works fine. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay tuned, and I hope to see you in my next videos. Bye for now.